Imagine you are standing in front of a giant chocolate sculpture. It looks like a tall forest or a complex machine. It is beautiful and grand. You might feel a sense of wonder. You see billions of people online watching these creations come to life in short, fast videos. It looks like magic. A piece of chocolate becomes a tall tree or a working clock in just 60 seconds. We look at these things and we see the wow factor. We see the extravagance and the fame. But if we only look at the finished sculpture, we are missing the most important part of the story. We are missing the sweat, the science, and the thousands of hours of quiet work that happen when the cameras are turned off. Most of us go through life looking for the wow moments. We want the big success and the fast result. However, the true depth of human creativity is much more interesting than a viral video. Today, we are going to look beneath the surface of beauty to find the discipline and the truth that live inside the work of a master. To understand this, we first have to look at the surface concept of modern success. We live in a world that is obsessed with the visual. If something looks amazing on a screen, we think it is easy. We see a $5 pastry in a shop and we might think it is too expensive. We compare it to a cheap drink at a club and we do not see the value. This is because we only see the 2 minutes of pleasure we get from eating it. We do not see the 2 days of work that went into making the textures perfect. The surface view of creativity is that it is a gift you are born with. We think some people are just creative and they can walk around pastrifying the world in their heads. We see the final assembly of a chocolate clock and we think it is just a fun game. But this view ignores the foundation. It ignores the fact that before the chocolate can become art, the chef had to learn how to transform raw, unpleasant ingredients into something balanced. A spoonful of flour or a bite of a raw lemon is not nice. Success on the surface is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there is a hidden assumption that we must challenge. We often assume that the look of something is its most important quality. In the world of social media, if it looks good, it is good. But for a true master of their craft, the look is actually secondary. The hidden truth is that the taste and the texture are where the real complexity lies. It is easy to make something look like a clock if you have the right mold. It is much harder to make that clock taste like a perfect balance of strong espresso and 80% dark chocolate. We assume that art is about what we see, but in the culinary world, art is about how the ingredients collide. It is about chemistry and physics. If your hands are too warm, the chocolate melts. If the temperature is off by just a few degrees, the glue will not hold. The hidden assumption is that creativity is messy and free. In reality, the highest form of creativity is incredibly disciplined. It is about time, temperature, and mechanical action. You have to understand the rules of the material before you can have fun with it. This brings us to a structural pattern that we can see in any great achievement. This is the pattern of the hidden labor. Every great thing we admire is built on a structure of quiet, repetitive work. Think about a Swiss clock. It is made of tiny gears and rivets that must fit together perfectly to tell the time. A chocolate sculpture is the same. It is built one gear at a time, using heat guns and suction cups and cold hands. The structural pattern here is one of patience. We see the finished product in a 2-minute video, but the reality is 2 days of resting, casting, and assembling. This pattern exists in every trade. Whether you are building a house, writing a book, or learning a new language, the structure is the same. There are no shortcuts. You have to do the work that no one sees so that you can show the world something they have never seen. The secret of the industry is that there are no secrets. There is only the willingness to spend 48 hours on something that will be gone in 5 minutes. This allows us to reframe our perspective on what it means to be a professional. For a long time, manual trades like baking or cooking were seen as lame or only for people who did not do well in school. We can now reframe this by seeing the trade as a form of high-level science and ambassadorship. Being a chef is not about failing at academics, it is about mastering a different kind of intelligence. It is about being a storyteller through taste. When we reframe our view, we start to respect the price of things. We stop complaining about the cost of an éclair and start appreciating the years of training it took to make it. This new perspective values the process over the result. It teaches us that the bling and the fame are just tools to raise awareness for the craft itself. We realize that the true achievement is not the billions of views, but the ability to inspire a 4-year-old child to want to become a chef because they see the beauty in transforming raw ingredients. We can apply this to our daily lives by looking for the chocolate in our own work. Whatever your job is, there is a way to do it with the precision of a jeweler. You can choose to care about the taste of your work even when people only see the look. For example, if you are writing a report, the look is the formatting, but the taste is the quality of your ideas. If you are teaching a child, the look is the lesson plan, but the taste is the connection you make with them. We can also apply the cold hands rule to our lives. Sometimes we have to keep our emotions cool so that we do not melt the projects we are working on. We have to understand the time and temperature of our own lives. When we feel rushed, we can remind ourselves that the best things need time to rest. We can choose to be ambassadors for our own industries by being open about the hard work we do. We can break the secretive nature of our work and show people the gears behind our success. This builds a world where we value each other's labor and time. We can also learn to enjoy the 2 minutes of pleasure more deeply because we understand the 2 days of craft behind them. This deepening of our appreciation makes our lives much richer. We stop rushing through our experiences and start savoring the hazelnut financier or the coffee caramel of life. We can find joy in the rivets and the gears of our daily routines. We can realize that even if we do not like coffee, a master can make us love the coffee because of how they have balanced the recipe. This is the power of excellence. It can change our minds and open our hearts to new experiences. We should remember that every one of us has the ability to craft wonders if we are willing to put in the time. It does not matter if you started by picking a trait out of a hat. What matters is that you fell in love with the transformation. You fell in love with taking something raw and making it elaborate. This journey of transformation is the most human thing we can do. It is how we leave our mark on the world. As you move through your week, try to look past the wow factor of the things you see. Try to imagine the gears that make them work. Think about the people who stayed up late to make sure the texture of your life is smooth. And think about your own work. Are you putting in the 2 days of craft for the 2 minutes of pleasure? Are you taking care of the taste as much as the look? When we all start to care about the hidden work, the whole world becomes a more beautiful and respectful place. We become a community of makers and appreciators. We become like the person who breaks down an old clock just to learn how to build it again in a more delicious way. This is the ultimate form of respect for ourselves and for each other. If you were to look at the most difficult or boring part of your daily job not as a chore, but as a necessary gear in a beautiful chocolate clock, how would your sense of pride change the way you approach your work tomorrow morning?